What's up, YouTube? We have a good one for y'all today. We're going to be talking about what your main character in Marvel Rivals says about you, Vanguard Edition. Before we get started, my comment section says I have the worst takes on the internet. We're going to see if that's true. So strap in. Let's get you triggered. We're going to start with Penny Parker. If you're a Penny Parker main, you like to play defense. Because in my opinion, she's a very, very good defensive tank. That's what she's designed to do. Her mines can help you hold choke points and attack the zones. She's very, very difficult to master, but the people that do seems like they like playing defensive strategy. So if you're maining Penny Parker on every single game, you don't care what the map or mode is, I'm assuming you just like playing defense. You don't like going on the offense. You like to play very strategically, and I respect that. But 99.9% of you guys are bad at this game. Because I've never had a problem with Penny Parker. But to the 0.1% that are very, very good, you guys are hard to deal with. And you guys will drop 30, 40 bombs in any rank and competitive period. It's absolutely crazy. I've played against some monsters, and I've played with some monster pennies. Nothing but respect. Next up, we have Doctor Strange. He is a shield tank. He is the best tank in the game, and he does exactly what a tank is supposed to do. He holds the front line down and blocks damage. And if you like to play Doctor Strange, you like to be the backbone of your team. When you have a very good Strange on your team, you can kind of breathe easy knowing that in big pushes and in major choke points, he's going to be nothing but a military asset. He's absolutely great, and Strange takes a high level of skill, so if you've dedicated your time to maining this guy, I'm assuming you're good at the game. I've played against a lot of bad Stranges, but for the most part, even a mediocre Strange can still hold the front lines and keep his team up in the back and let them do their work. Plus, his ultimate's cracked. There's just nothing bad to say about Strange. I understand why anyone would pick him. He's a very, very good tank. The only problem is that when I'm in lobbies and people take him before I do, and then they get absolutely bodied, I get ragingly triggered. Nothing but respect for Strange. Next up, we have Groot. If you main Groot in Marvel Rivals, you like chaos and you want to see the world burn, man, because he is such a frustrating character. He can isolate characters from their healing, allowing his team to just body you. And I'm all about it. Like, I think Groot has a very unique and special kit in this game, unlike any of the other tanks, and I think it's really cool. I've never personally played him more than probably 5 minutes, but I respect and understand why people choose him. I've seen monster Groots out there. He has a very cool aesthetic. He's a very beloved character, so there's tons of reasons I could pick from why someone would use him, but I assume they like to have fun, and his walls and what he can do is absolutely bonkers. So I have nothing bad to say about you. He is an A-tier tank. Please stop getting in my lobbies, though, and ruining my day. Next up, we have Magneto, and he is one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. I've loved this guy since the X-Men 90 series. I think he's amazing. So when this game first came out, I picked him up and started using him. I didn't care what role it was. I wanted to run Magneto for a few hours, and I had a lot of fun. And it turns out he is one of the best tanks in the game. I think he's top 3 because of what he can do with damage mitigation. So if you're picking Magneto, you like to be a damage absorber. That's what he does best. His offensive output's pretty good. His ult is really great when it comes to dropping healers, and he's got so much versatility. Like, a lot of his abilities can absorb enemy ultimates. It's just crazy what he can do. I think he is a high skill character. The stars on him say 2, and that's just not true, because to be effective with Magneto, you have to have very good positioning. You have to have very good reaction time and timing, especially when you're countering ultimates. And I think it's more than 2-star. Like, I think he's very difficult to get used to. And when he's paired with Wanda, he's absolutely cracked. So I have a very special place in my heart for anyone that mains Magneto, because 1, he's so cool. Magneto is one of the coolest comic book characters ever. And 2, he is a defensive juggernaut when it comes to damage absorption. So my hat's off to you. Thank you for doing that. I don't run Magneto very often, but when I do, I have nothing but fun. And I feel like I let my team work. Moving on, we got Thor. He is a off tank, meaning that he is a damage tank. He has the highest damage output of any of the tanks in this game, and it's not even close. His Ruined Awakening mode, where he's slinging lightning bolts, can fry any character in this game. It's not even a question. So if you like playing off tank, I'm assuming you like to deal damage and you also like to stay up, because I think he is a great versatile off tank. Like, off tank can be defined as pretty much just a DPS with a ton of health, and that's how I like to play, which is why I have mained Thor for over 40 hours in this game so far. He's very, very fun to play. He's got great escapes. He has great abilities. His ultimate's actually good when you know how to use it. And I just love Thor as a character in general, from the MCU to the comics. His comics have never had like a good run, in my opinion. Like, I've never enjoyed reading Thor comics as much as some others, but I enjoy this character in Marvel in general. So if you main Thor, you like to deal damage and you like to take care of business. I've been able to solo carry with Thor all the way to Grandmaster. So I've been able to solo carry with Thor all the way to Diamond. And if you're maining Thor, you know what we got. We got an amazing off tank. Next up, we have Captain America, the most misunderstood and underrated character in this game, and it's almost not even close. He's been on the bottom of so many tier lists that I think people are scared to admit that they main Captain America. The fact is, he is a great dive tank. He is meant to run in, do some damage, get some picks if he can on the supports, and then dip out. He has amazing traversal with his sprint, his fearless leap that he can dive, and then his little Liberty Rush where he dashes. He's got 3 escapes. So I think he's a better dive tank than Venom. I don't care what you say. At least before the patch, because he had more survivability than Venom. Because his shield can block a lot of damage, and when he's paired with Thor, his DPS output problem that he has right now is fixed. And we get a glimpse of what Captain America can do if he has his DPS buffed. He's an absolute monster. The fact is, if you're remaining Captain America in the beginning of the game, you were probably getting your, butt kicked. But if you stuck with him, learned how to use him, figured out he was actually a dive tank, you can be an absolute nuisance to the enemy team. I honestly have nothing but respect for Captain America mains. I respect them more than even Penny Parker mains. I'm sorry if that offends anybody. Can't help it. You have to understand that defense is just not my play style. I understand it some others, and I think Penny Parker is good, but I prefer characters that are up in your face, melee damage, and can wipe teams. I'm not saying that Penny can't. I'm just saying she's not an up in your face character because she gets dropped quickly. Next up, we have Venom, the most overhyped, overrated, but decent dive tank in this game. When this game was first announced and the beta went live and everybody was watching streams, everyone thought he was going to be the best tank in the game. Every one of my teams would tell me to play Venom if I was going to be a tank main. He's a good dive tank. He is not amazing. Before the patch, he was mediocre at best. He got fried first in big pushes. People that ran Venom, I think, just liked to dive in, deal damage, and then web out. It was honestly, it was so frustrating. His difficulty is 1-star, and I think that can kind of sum him up as a character. He's a 1-star character. I mean, they've definitely buffed him, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't run Venom. I have a lot of pent-up aggression towards Venom mains because 99% of the time that I've played with them, they get like 4 and 12. Don't help in big pushes because they can't stay up. Ultimate, no one ever uses their ults correctly. It's very frustrating, but Venom, I really do feel like is a good dive tank, but because of the way players play him, it's just got me so mad at him that I just get frustrated even looking at him. But I understand why people play him. Like, he's very cool. He's a very cool character. He's got great movement with his symbiote swing. Like, he's one of the coolest characters in the game for sure. And I know he's fun to play. Just very frustrated with him. I'm sorry if this upsets you. I can't help how I feel. I'm the one talking here. And finally, we have the Hulk. He is like a hybrid solo dive tank that I don't think anyone else can completely identify. He's very difficult to use. He's kind of like Captain Venom. He needs to jump into the back lines and beat the snot out of supports because of his jumping is so good. Because he goes down quickly too. So I think he's a dive tank. But his Gamma Shield brings him back into the more tanky aspect where when he drops that ability in perfect timing, he can save teammates from ults. He's very, very good. He buffs a lot of characters and makes them insanely good. Like his buff to Iron Man and his buff to Doctor Strange make them so good that, like, I almost, as a requirement, as a Strange main, I hope that I have a Hulk as an off tank because I really, really want them to give me that buff. Hulk is great. He's run really bad by like 100% of the players. There's like a 0.001% of players that can run Hulks. Like absolute menaces in every rank, by the way. I've played in silver, gold, diamond lobbies that have the most insane Hulks you will ever see, but they're overshadowed by the 99% Buns players out there. I love Hulk, nothing but respect. And in closing statements, if you play any of these characters, I understand why. I know I talked down on Venom and Penny a little bit. They have viability. They are still good in their own right. They're just not my play style. And I think that if you looked at some kind of percentage sheet, these two characters are the most flip-flopped on what they do as far as win rates and pick rates because it's frustrating. Like, I know there's good players out there. I've been on their teams, but there's so many bad ones that they have a bad taste in my mouth. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and a comment down below what you want to see me do next. If you want to see a duelist and a strategist, what your main character says about you video, please let me know and I will make it. I just kind of wanted to test the waters here with this. It's a new kind of video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.